Today for the Design Review Board of September 4th. If we could start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, so we'll start with attendance.
Great. So noted.
Thank you. And next we have public comment. I'm guessing there's no public comment because the applicants will be able to come up. I will close public comment. Next we have approval of the minutes of August 21st. Unless there's any changes, I'd look for a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Clerk Brooke.
Support.
Support by Treasurer Shostak. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? And next we'll go on to new signs. So we have M. Victor's Care at 4190 Telegraph. We'll start with Isabella, and then we'll have our applicant, Mr. Marcus, come up.
Hello. So today we have the first application is for a new internally illuminated single-face sign on the fascia of the building located at 4190 Telegraph Road. This building is zoned OR1, office retail, and is a multi-tenant building. The applicant has so kindly and thoroughly provided some great information that we can refer to as we need. So the request before you today is for a 2-foot high by 14-foot wide sign totaling 28 square feet. And there's a neighboring business that also has signage on the front of the building. So the request notates that there is an existing sign by the neighboring tenant. So this would technically require a variance. Oh, the sign? Oh, yeah. I don't know if we have. I don't think the sign is here. Okay, but I can give this.
I'll do that. No, you're okay. I think she's hazing you. So Isabella is our new planner, and you come from New York Transit. We're very lucky to have her here. I think you're getting hazed. We did it to Corey.
Okay.
I did it to my engineer a little bit in the beginning.
Oh,
Put him
perfect.
last on that one with like 20 different agenda items.
Oh, this is great. Amazing. Okay. This is how you learn. Getting thrown in.
Exactly.
Okay, so
You handled the pressure perfectly.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew, for helping.
So the sign, as you can see, oh, why is it shaking? Is it because I'm moving? Okay, I just won't move. Okay. Okay, so this sign is 14 feet wide by 2 feet tall, so for a total of 28 square feet. And per the building facade, there's an allowable sign area of 64 square feet for the building. The current existing sign, which on the top image on the right side is the Red Cross sign, and that sign is 9 feet long by 3 feet high, so totaling 27 square feet. So it's noted that the total signage between both signs is 55 square feet, which is under an allowable sign square footage of 65 as noted. So per our township ordinance, illustrations may not exceed 5% of the total area of the sign. And in this case, the allowable illustration area would be 1.4 square feet. And the applicant is proposing an illustration of 19.8 square feet. So a variance would be needed for the size of the illustration exceeding the 5 feet of the sign area.
What's the illustration?
Oh, I'm so sorry. So that's the M, the block M.
Beautiful block M.
Yes.
Why-
I was going to say if you
why
need
is
more
that?
space, we could make it bigger.
It's just a letter. Why is that
It's a logo.
I think
why is it it's a letter?
It's a logo.
But it's a letter.
It's a letter
Not
that's in a
use.
logo. It's one of the best, most wonderful logos out there.
Beautiful color.
Right?
Okay.
I have someone that may not. Well, you kind of half agree because you did go there for law school.
Right.
And something else to note is the lettering of the sign is within the allowance of only 5 inches, I believe. So something to
5
note
inches.
there. Off of the building.
Projection.
The projection, excuse me.
Oh.
Yeah, like that.
Oh, it's 9.4 deep?
Oh, yeah,
It can't be more than 12.
that's for 12.
Well,
So the two variances would be the size of, or there's just one variance?
Well, so technically, I believe it's 2 because although the businesses are separate businesses, our ordinance states that the building may only have one sign. So technically, it's 2, and then the second variance would be for the beautiful Block M.
He's like, what? I don't get this treatment. Oh.
We love Kroger.
Does anyone have questions? Oh. And then I look for a motion. Oh, wait. Would you like to come up and talk about Victor's Care, what it is, and the sign? Sorry. I forgot I had.
Good afternoon. My name's Scott Marcus, the owner of the 4190 Telegraph building. Victor's Care is a concierge medicine practice out of the Michigan Medical Department. This is their second location. The first one's in Ann Arbor. Really primary care focused on limited patients. Each doctor will be limited with the number of patients that they have. Signage obviously is very important so patients can find them. I think the building and the signage requirements didn't necessarily contemplate Telegraph Road being as fast of a thoroughway as it has become. So the size requirements make it a little difficult. This is the logo that Victor's Care provided us, or the sign, they provided us this design. And we're not in a spot to be able to ask Red Cross to remove their sign. So we have no choice but to ask for a second one.
If there's any questions, I'd look for a motion.
I'd be happy to make a motion to approve the sign as presented, subject to and referring to the ZBA for the 2 variances required.
Motion by Clerk Brooke,
Go blue.
support by Treasurer Shostak. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Great, thank you. Have a great day. All right, so
I need the
next,
fight song.
right? Do you walk out to the
Just
fight
kidding.
song?
Just kidding.
So next we also have Kroger at 4099 Telegraph Road. Again, we'll start with Isabella and then you'll come up as well.
Great.
We love Kroger too.
Okay.
Proposing one of those in East Lansing too, or no?
I don't know. Definitely not Columbus.
So the second application we have before you today is a signage application that is seeking to replace an existing sign and add a secondary sign at 4099 Telegraph Road, which is the existing Kroger grocery store and is in a B2 zoned area. So the sign request, as I mentioned, includes 2 signs. So a variance is being sought here for the 2 signs, as only 1 sign is permitted per our ordinance. The max allowable sign area per the ordinance is up to 150 square feet being permitted. The first sign being proposed, which is on the left side of what's being presented there, and the new sign is on the bottom. So the white Kroger with the little lemon shopping cart. And that proposed area is 99.8 square feet, which complies. And the second sign, which would be on the right hand, the bottom image, where there's a new sign being proposed there, is 14.5 feet by 4.3 feet for a total of 63.1 square feet. This also would comply. So our ordinance states that illustrations may not exceed 5% of the total area of the sign, and a variance will be needed for each sign here. Sign 1's illustration of the the lemon shopping cart. The allowable sign area would be 5% of 100 square feet, so giving us 5 square feet, and the proposed illustration is 16 square feet. For the second sign, the image on that sign, the allowable area would be 3.5 square feet, and the proposed illustration is 11.5 square feet.
Would you like to come on up?
Hardly wait. Good afternoon, everybody. Bob Bongiorno with Allied Signs here in regards to Kroger, located on Telegraph Road. I'd like to also say, first of all, they are allowed 150 square feet, and we're requesting a variance for only 162 square feet. So we're not requesting too much more than the allowable square footage. We are requesting, though, a variance for an additional wall sign and logo. Okay, so we're only really asking for 12 more square feet for variances for the 2 illustrations of the signs on the elevations of the building. The building does have 228 foot of frontage, so it's a very big building, set back a little bit. So the size of the signage that we're proposing for variances fit well on the facade of the building.
Anyone have questions?
I do. The current sign isn't smaller. I mean, is there already a variance that was given for the current sign? I mean, just eyeballing it from here, it
Doesn't
looks like
look
it's
big.
maybe even bigger. I mean,
The lettering of Kroger itself is smaller than the original lettering of the Kroger that's existing now. What makes it appear bigger is the shopping cart, just more elongated. The Kroger lettering, original letters, are much bigger than what we're proposing now. It just looks bigger because elongated with the shopping cart. Also like to,
So the square footage is a little bigger
for all of
on the
it.
proposed one over the other one.
Yes, we're only requesting like another 16 square feet for the additional signage on two facades of the building.
Because it does almost look like the existing one is also bigger than the original 150. Is that where you're going with
That's
that?
where I'm going with that,
That's
yeah.
what I was agreeing to. Like, we're not, I think the opposite is he's saying, is the Kroger already that exists also already did it get a variance because it looks just as big as the one you're suggesting?
Have the history of the previous Kroger.
And Kroger's
but it
been
does
there for a long
appear that
time.
It is larger.
It looks pretty large,
It
the
does
original
look-
one.
It does look larger.
I mean, I don't know how,
Based on their square footage, they would be allowed up to 150.
But that's what's-
Yeah.
So it's I guess I should be talking here. It's very possible that Kroger sign that's up there, because they are allowed 150 based on the frontage, that likely that sign fell within the 150 and probably didn't need a variance.
Okay.
But now, because they're adding on that secondary sign, because the original primary sign that they're replacing is 99.8. Isabella, what did you say they're permitted?
They're permitted 150.
Yeah. So I think what they're doing is they're taking their permitted 150 and dividing it up now between the 2 signs.
Okay.
That's what
Yes.
they're doing.
Got it.
and I also like to say, with the pickup signage in the cart, that's, nowadays the world's changed with COVID. People want curbside pickup more and more nowadays. So that's huge nowadays. So the pickup signage is kind of like more informational for the consumer to know where to go. They call their order, place it online. That's the area of the building Kroger's wants you to be for curbside pickup.
Do we allow, see, that's actually what worried me, not the sign, but
Yeah.
usually you have to do curbside in the parking, like you have to designate parking spots. I don't think we do normally let people just stack up and,
Correct.
like, they can't just
I'm sure
pick
it's
up.
not actually curbside. I'm sure they have parking
That's what it
spots identified, pick up 1, pick up 2, customer
Scared me
3.
that-
Yeah.
No,
So
they can't
there's-
block the
et cetera.
fire lane.
Yeah, so there are parking spots there across from the driveway.
Right.
Fire
Okay.
lane are designated parking spots
Good.
for the pickup.
But for that secondary signage, it is kind
It'd
of
just
like,
be an advertisement for the.
Yeah,
Just sort of tells
that's
them where to
all I
go.
cared about, is as long as there still were the
Yeah.
parking spots.
I'm in there often.
Yeah.
I don't use pickup, but I'm in there often, so I.
yeah, so it's kind of like informational with the word pickup. It's not really advertising their name of Kroger, just
Right.
letting the consumer know where they need to go for their
Yeah.
curbside pickup.
Perfect.
So we're only asking for additional 12 square feet of what is allowed, so it makes sense.
It's useful information. I mean, I'm sorry. Is there,
No, you're okay.
It's useful information, no doubt. Knowing where the pickup is useful. You can't really see it unless you know where it is. But can it be a little smaller?
Especially 'cause that's not where
once
you're
you're in
gonna
there,
pick up.
because you're not driving down the road, Telegraph, looking for the pickup sign, you're
No, but
already
you
in
also,
there.
also got to remember that a lot of the consumers are much older than perhaps some of you here, that their eyesight's not as good as a younger person. So, I mean,
Has to be good
bigger's
enough to
always better.
drive.
That's a good
I
one.
mean,
Well, I'm just
yeah,
saying,
we're so clever.
well, I'm just saying, like, the bigger, better. Visibility is important for people. And, let's face it, eyesight goes as the older we get.
I get
So is the variance for 2 signs or is the variance for the combined square footage?
In no part of our ordinance do allow for 2 signs, so there is never an ordinance for, we provide you the numbers so you can compare. So to answer your question, the variance is for 2 signs when one's permitted,
Right.
and also an additional variance for secondary signage, as well as the logos. So,
There's 3 variances.
yes, so there's actually 3 variances, so 2 signs
Or is it
and a
2?
logo.
Yeah.
Lower size, 2 signs, and overall size.
Well,
We don't do overall size.
I don't,
Would it be variance for only 2, being that 2 signs and just the logos? The variance would be like for increased size
Correct.
of allowable lawn. So really be 2 variances, not 3.
He looks like he's looking for a job in the planning department.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, I think you're
it's-
right.
So it's for 2 signs, and it's for logos exceeding 5% of each sign.
Correct.
So-
Those are the variances.
And the third
two
would be the
variances.
size of it's going over 150.
No, that is just a comparable, so you guys understand what they're permitted. They're permitted to have 150 in accordance with our ordinance. They're opting to provide a total of 162 combined. We're just giving that to you as a reference point.
So if he had come with one sign that's 162, he wouldn't need a variance.
You would need a variance for overall
would.
size.
150.
We don't have it in our ordinance where you say if you have 2 signs, you're allowed
162 is
this
not
much.
one side.
Right.
It's the combination of the 2 signs, that's
Right.
why.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Well, I don't have an issue with it, so I'll make a motion that we approve as submitted and send this to the ZBA for consideration of the variances.
Support.
Motion by Treasurer Shostak, support by Clerk Brooke. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That
Thank you.
does pass.
Thank
Have
you.
a good day.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Yes.
So, but don't keep going higher again. We were good for 3.5 years. All right. So next we have recent DRB approvals. Are there anything we need to look at?
No, we do not.
No? All right, so next meeting date is going to be Wednesday, September 18th, 2024. I'd be remiss if we didn't say what a great job you did on your first time, and thank you for all the support from Andrea too. And with that, I'd look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Treasurer
Support.
Shostak, support by Clerk Brooke. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? That passes.